Hello, families. Welcome to our journey of discovery. Today, we start with why it's essential to have laws that protect the environment. Now, you might ask, what are environmental laws? Well, in the simplest terms, environmental laws are rules and regulations that are created to protect our surroundings. They are like the school rules that make sure everyone is safe and happy. But instead of a school, they apply to our whole planet. These laws play a vital role in safeguarding the air we breathe, the water we drink, and the beautiful landscapes we enjoy. They are like superheroes, protecting us from things that could harm our world. For example, imagine if everyone threw their trash anywhere they liked, or companies released harmful gases into the air without any control. Our world would be a very dirty and dangerous place, wouldn't it? But thanks to environmental laws, activities like littering and causing pollution are not allowed. Here's an example. There's a law that says you can't just throw your trash in the river or the park. Why? Because it would make the place dirty and hurt the animals that live there. And we all love clean parks and happy animals, right? Similarly, factories and big companies have to follow certain rules too. They can't just release smoky fumes into the air or dump their waste into the rivers. If they do, they'll be breaking the law, and they could get into big trouble. So these laws are like a big shield, protecting our environment from things that can cause harm. They ensure our surroundings are clean and safe for all the creatures that live in it, including us. Environmental laws remind us that our actions affect the world around us. They help us understand that we have a big responsibility to take care of our planet. After all, it's the only home we've got. So, having laws to protect our environment ensures we have a clean, healthy world to live and play in. Isn't that something we all want? Ever wondered why some birds disappear during certain seasons? That's because they're on a long trip called migration. Migration is a bit like going on a holiday, but for animals. It's a journey they take from one place to another, usually when the seasons change. But instead of lounging on a beach or visiting famous landmarks, animals migrate for reasons essential to their survival. They might be off to find food, a safe place to have their babies, or to escape harsh weather. Picture this. Imagine you're a tiny hummingbird, and your favorite flowers to sip nectar from are no longer blooming because it's getting colder. What would you do? Well, you'd pack your tiny hummingbird bags and head off to a place where those flowers are still blooming, right? That's exactly what they do. They embark on a journey to warmer regions where food is abundant. This is one reason why animals migrate, to find food. Now let's consider another scenario. Imagine you're a sea turtle. When it's time to lay your eggs, you wouldn't want to do it just anywhere, would you? You'd want a place that's safe from predators and where your little ones can hatch peacefully. So, you journey hundreds, sometimes thousands of miles back to the beach where you were born to lay your eggs. This is another reason why animals migrate, to give their young ones a safe start to life. But here's the big question. How do animals know where to go? It's not like they have a map or a GPS system, right? This is where it gets really interesting. Animals use various cues from nature to navigate their way. Some birds, for instance, use the sun as a compass. During the day, they observe the sun's position and move accordingly. But what about at night, you ask? Well, many birds and insects look to the stars. They learn the patterns of the stars and use them to guide their way. And then there's the Earth's magnetic field. Yes, our planet is like a giant magnet, and some animals, like pigeons and sea turtles, can sense this magnetic field. They use it as a kind of map, helping them understand where they are and where they need to go. Isn't that incredible? So, whether it's a monarch butterfly fluttering thousands of miles to escape the winter, a humpback whale swimming across oceans to find warmer waters, or a caribou trekking through freezing snow to reach its calving grounds, every animal has its unique migration story. And each journey, no matter how challenging, is a testament to the remarkable instincts and resilience of these creatures. Animals are truly amazing, aren't they? Their ability to travel long distances to survive is fascinating. Next, let's chirp about bird songs. Birds don't just sing because they're happy. They use their songs to chat with each other. You see, bird songs are like a language, each one unique and full of meaning. Let's start with the basics. Did you know that there are many different types of bird songs? That's right. Just like we have different languages, birds have different songs. Some are short, some are long, some are high-pitched, and some are low. Some birds even have a whole repertoire of songs. Now you might be wondering, why so many variations? Well, it's because birds use their songs for different reasons. One of the most common uses of birdsong is to attract a mate. Think of it as a bird's way of saying, "Hey, look at me! I'm strong, healthy, and would make a great partner." But it's not all about romance. Birds also use their songs to mark their territory. By singing loudly and clearly, a bird tells other birds, "This is my space, keep out." It's a bit like putting a no trespassing sign on your front lawn. Birdsongs also act as an alarm system. When a bird spots a predator like a cat or a hawk, it will let out a specific call. This call is like a warning siren telling other birds, "Danger, danger, fly away." Now, how do birds learn these songs? Well, just like we learn to talk by listening to our parents, birds learn to sing by listening to adult birds. This is especially true for songbirds, who spend their first few weeks of life listening to and practicing the songs of their species. Interestingly, some birds are even capable of mimicry. These copycat birds, like parrots and mynas, can imitate the sounds of other birds, animals, and even human speech. Imagine having a bird that can say hello or sing your favorite song. But remember, just because a bird can mimic a sound doesn't mean it understands it. Birds don't have the same understanding of language as we do. Their communication is more about conveying basic information like "I'm here" or "watch out." In a nutshell, bird songs are a fascinating form of communication. They are a bird's way of expressing itself, whether it's to attract a mate, mark territory, or warn others of danger. They're a testament to the complexity of nature and the amazing abilities of our feathered friends. So the next time you hear a bird singing, remember, it's not just a song, it's a conversation. Each chirp, tweet, and warble is a message full of meaning and purpose. So, let's take a moment to appreciate the beautiful symphony of bird songs that surround us every day. After all, it's not just music to our ears, but a complex language that speaks volumes about the world of birds. Have you ever wondered about the people who make rules in your town, your state, and even your country? They're part of different levels of government. Let's start with a simple question. What is a government? In the most basic sense, a government is a group of people who make decisions and rules that everyone in a certain area has to follow. These rules help keep everyone safe, healthy, and happy. Now, when we talk about different levels of government, we're looking at how these rule makers are organized. Just like how you have different teachers for different subjects at school, we have different levels of government for different areas and responsibilities. Firstly, we have the local government. This is like your classroom teacher. The local government takes care of things that are close to home, like your neighborhood or town. They're the ones who decide where to build new parks, schools, and libraries, and they also make sure that the trash is picked up and the streets are clean. Let's imagine your local government as a big, friendly giant who keeps an eye on your town, making sure that everything is in order and everyone is safe. Now, let's travel a bit further and reach the state government. If the local government is like your classroom teacher, then the state government is like your school principal. They have a bigger area to look after, the whole state. The state government takes care of bigger things like highways, state parks, and colleges. They also make rules about things like driving and education. So when you see workers fixing a highway or building a new college, that's the state government at work. Imagine the state government as a wise owl soaring high above, looking after the entire state, ensuring that everything runs smoothly. Now, you might be thinking, why can't we just have one big government for everything? Well, having different levels of government allows each group to focus on what they're best at. It's like having a team, where each player has their own position and role. This way, we can make sure that everything from your local park to the state highway is taken care of by someone who knows what they're doing. So, from your local town council, making sure your local library has the latest books, to the state government ensuring that highways are safe for travel, these different levels of government are working hard to keep everything running smoothly. In a nutshell, our lives are influenced by these different levels of government every day, whether we realize it or not. They're like invisible superheroes, constantly working to keep our communities safe, clean, and happy. So, different levels of government work together to keep our communities running smoothly. Lastly, let's talk about fairness in trading. When you trade your toys with your friends, you want it to be fair, right? It's the same with grown-ups trading things too. Imagine you're playing with your favorite toy car, and your friend has a toy robot. You both decide to swap toys for a day. This is a simple example of economic exchange. It's just a fancy term for trading or swapping things. But let's say you know that your toy car is brand new and shiny, while your friend's robot is old and a bit broken. If you still decide to swap, that wouldn't feel fair, would it? You'd probably feel a bit unhappy or maybe even upset. This is why fairness is so important when we trade things. Now let's think about this in a more grown-up way. Let's say instead of toys, we're talking about apples and oranges. If you have a basket of fresh, juicy apples and want to trade them for a bag of oranges, you'd want the oranges to be just as fresh and juicy, right? You wouldn't want to trade your apples for old, squishy oranges. That wouldn't be fair. This fairness in trading is what economists, the people who study how we use and trade things, call a fair economic exchange. It's all about making sure that everyone involved in the trade feels happy with what they're giving and what they're getting. Now let's think about when you go to a store to buy a toy. You give the store some money, and in return they give you the toy. This is another form of economic exchange. But what happens if the store charges too much for the toy? You'd probably think it's not fair and decide not to buy it. On the other hand, if the store charges too little for the toy, they might not make enough money to keep the store open or to pay the people who work there. That wouldn't be fair to the store. So, the price of the toy needs to be fair for both you and the store. Sometimes, figuring out what's fair can be tricky. But remember, the goal of a fair economic exchange is to make sure everyone feels happy with the trade. Just like when you and your friend decide to swap toys, you both want to feel like you're getting something good in return. Economic exchange is a big part of how the world works. It happens every day, everywhere, whether we're trading toys, buying groceries, or even swapping books at school. And fairness in these exchanges is what keeps everyone feeling happy and wanting to trade more in the future. So, fairness in economic exchanges ensures that everyone feels happy with the trade, just like when you swap toys with your friends. Wow, we've learned so much today, haven't we? From protecting our environment to understanding bird songs and government levels, and even trading fairly. Let's take a quick flashback. We started with understanding why we need laws to protect our environment. We learned that these laws are like rules in a game that help us keep our beautiful planet clean and safe for all living creatures. Just like how we tidy up our rooms, we need to take care of our Earth too. Then, we embarked on a fascinating journey with migrating animals. These amazing creatures travel long distances, just like you on a family road trip, to find food, a new home, or even to avoid the cold. And they use the sun, stars, and even the Earth's magnetic field as their compass. Now, isn't that clever? We also spent some time in the fabulous world of birds and their songs. Each bird has its unique tune, like your favorite song. They use these songs to chat with each other, say hello, warn about danger, or even to impress a mate. Next time you hear a bird singing, remember it's not just a song, it's a conversation. And then we discovered the different levels of government, from local to state. Just like how different teachers handle different subjects at school, different levels of government take care of different aspects of our lives. They make sure everything runs smoothly and fairly for everyone. Speaking of fairness, we also explored why it's so important in economic exchanges. It's like trading your toys with your friends. Everyone should be happy with what they get, right? That's what fairness in economy is all about. Thank you for joining this journey of discovery. Remember, learning is an adventure. Good night, families, until next time.